and the fact that Schiff hasn't blinked since 1992. And he didn't take the news so well. The disgraced Democrat went on TikTok to complain. Behold.
Hello, I'm Congressman Adam Schiff with some troubling news. Today, Kevin McCarthy removed me from the House Intelligence Committee, all for doing my job, for holding Trump accountable and standing up to the extreme MAGA Republicans.
Senator Schiff, given the ongoing political tensions and Trump's actions toward his critics, do you think President Biden's preemptive pardons turned out to be more important than initially expected? Let's first tell people what that means, preemptive pardons. That was pretty unprecedented, right? Before he left office, Joe Biden pardoned you and a number of people who he thought Trump would go after.
No, I take the opposite view. I don't think he should have given the pardons at all.
Really?
No, I don't think he should have, and I was vocal about that at the time.
Can you refuse a pardon?
That's less clear because in the case of the January 6th committee, he pardoned essentially the whole...
There's a certain kind of politician who refuses to disappear. No matter how many scandals surface or how often the truth gets twisted, they keep forcing their way back into public view like political pests. Adam Schiff fits that description perfectly. But this time something changed. People actually started paying attention. Bill Maher, and let's be clear, he's no MAGA fan, put Schiff under serious scrutiny on live television. Then Greg Gutfeld escalated things even further. This wasn't playful teasing or surface-level criticism. It turned into a full-scale dismantling of a political career built on exaggeration, theatrics, and non-stop self-promotion.
Let's stop talking about Trump. We talk about him too much. We want to tell people what we're going to do for them. Healthcare, environment, those kind of issues. For example, I've seen you on TV a lot in the last couple of years. I know everything you know or that you tell us about the Russian situation. I don't have a clue what you think about healthcare. I've never heard it. Yeah. I don't know whether you're for Medicare for all or improve Obamacare or get a chicken. I don't know what. Yeah.
This wasn't about helping Republicans. It was about basic honesty in public life. Take Schiff's online sympathy tour, staged on TikTok of all places. Yes, TikTok, the same platform lawmakers warn about foreign influence, suddenly became Schiff's stage to complain about losing his seat on the House Intelligence Committee. Playing the victim, he claimed he was punished simply for doing his job, holding Trump accountable, and standing up to extreme MAGA figures. That excuse doesn't hold up. Schiff didn't lose his position for bravery. He lost it because he spent years promoting a narrative that collapsed under scrutiny. Russian collusion. Remember how confidently he claimed to have undeniable proof that Trump worked with Moscow. He repeated it so often that he may have convinced himself it was real, even after the evidence failed to materialize.
Adam Schiff is not only a stone-cold, hopeless loser, but he is one of the most corrupt, one of the most shameful, one of the most heinous individuals ever to serve in public office in America. And everything he's devoted his life to has been debunked, discredited, and discarded. He literally represents the face of...
Instead of taking responsibility, Schiff doubled down. He framed the fallout as retaliation for opposing Trump. That's not accountability, it's deflection. Bill Maher wasn't buying it. While Maher has never been gentle with Trump, he doesn't excuse dishonesty from anyone. So when Schiff appeared across from him, Maher didn't avoid the issue. He confronted it directly. Maher pointed out that after years of hearing Schiff talk endlessly about Trump and Russia, he couldn't recall Schiff ever discussing healthcare or explaining what he'd actually accomplished for ordinary Americans. The silence that followed spoke volumes.
Now it just looks like you're stalking him. I think in the eyes of the people who don't follow it that closely, which is most of the country, here's the thing about Bob Mueller. He's like the last person, maybe the last thing in America that left and right agreed on. Left and right basically agreed. This is a guy of honor. This is an honest guy. This is an honest broker. Whatever he says goes. Americans are not into details. Don't read it to me, Bob. Just give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down. The fact that he was like, if you couldn't impeach before, how are you going to impeach after?
Maher said aloud what many had been thinking for years. Adam Schiff has no meaningful achievements to point to, no landmark legislation, no clear policy wins, just an obsession with impeachment that bordered on fixation. While Schiff chased conspiracies and political fantasies, issues affecting real people were ignored. That disconnect has become impossible to overlook.
I mean, the Mueller report is at the end of the day, that firecracker that, goes up and then the one that fizzles. Oh, look, nothing. Do you think you guys relied too much on that?
Serious problems were unfolding while Schiff stayed distracted. In early 2020, as COVID quietly spread across the country, Schiff remained locked onto Trump, pushing yet another round of hearings that led nowhere. Greg Gutfeld had no patience for it and responded without restraint.
Something's got to be done for Adam Schiff, because he created 3 years of a massive fallacy that did so much damage to this country and made us miss probably one of the most important stories of our lifetime. We were having hearings on impeachment while the coronavirus was exploding. We talked about that virus in green rooms, but we had to do this impeachment story. We had to show these hearings. It's all on him, man. He's got to go. They got to investigate him. They got to hold him accountable. I'm not going to say he should go to prison, but my evil twin will say he should go away to prison for a very long time.
Greg went straight at Schiff, calling out how the impeachment obsession pulled attention away from preparing for a major public health crisis. While hospitals filled and people got sick, Schiff kept repeating the same collapsing narrative. Greg even joked that his so-called evil twin thinks Schiff belongs in prison. It was humor, but the frustration was real. You don't need to support Trump to recognize how dangerous it is when politicians misuse power and mislead the public for political gain. Schiff didn't just waste time, he wasted trust. He turned a committee meant for oversight into a political weapon. When the narrative collapsed, he shifted into victim mode instantly, treating accountability like an unfair punishment instead of a consequence of his actions.
Congressman Adam Schiff announced this morning he's running for U.S. Senate in California, which is guaranteed to boost U-Haul rentals headed for Texas. He unveiled the highly polished and produced political ad right on the heels of getting booted from the House Intel Committee. Coincidence?
Maher saw through it immediately. He pointed to growing voter frustration, particularly in California, where people are tired of leaders who promise everything and deliver nothing. Schiff's Senate run follows the same formula. Attack Trump, talk about democracy, and avoid real issues. When Maher pressed him on controversial cultural topics like men competing in women's sports, Schiff dodged the question completely. No clarity, no stance, just avoidance. It was another example of a politician unwilling to be honest.
The Atlantic put out an article last year, and it was called "Separating Sports by Sex Doesn't Make Sense." Right. And talked about how we separate sports like the WNBA just because it's just socialization. This is insane.
I agree.
Okay. That's why people vote for Trump. Mm-hmm. Because there's stuff like that on the left that people just go, I know Trump's horrible, but separating by sports by sex makes perfect.
That avoidance is exactly what frustrates people. Voters are exhausted by empty answers and calculated silence. Agree or disagree, leaders should at least be clear about what they believe. Schiff's constant evasiveness isn't strategy, it's fear. His hypocrisy appears repeatedly. Consider the Wisconsin judge recently convicted of obstructing federal agents by helping someone evade ICE. The case sparked national debate and serious questions about accountability, yet Schiff suddenly had little to say.
Did you read about the judge today that was arrested it's such a new story. I didn't want to bring it up during the show because I don't know enough about it, but there was a judge in Milwaukee. I guess there was a hearing for an illegal immigrant, definitely an illegal immigrant. And the ICE people came in to arrest this person, and apparently the judge spirited the person out the back door. That's what I read. Don't know if it's true because I don't trust anybody until I do a full vetting of it. But if this is and so the FBI came in and arrested the judge. Now, I haven't heard that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I've ever read arrested a judge. So is this significant?
Well, I think
I'm not going to comment on something I don't know more about than what you've just told me.
You read about it too.
Yeah, I mean, I read about it, but I don't know.
So you don't trust anything either, and you work for the New York Times.
Well,
this is the same politician who chased every weak Trump allegation relentlessly, yet suddenly becomes passive when immigration or law enforcement failures come from his own side. You can't claim moral authority while ignoring inconvenient facts. That's politics, not justice. Americans are tired of it. Then came Schiff's censure. The House formally censured him for promoting the false Trump-Russia collusion narrative, making him just the 26th member in U.S. history to receive that reprimand. Did he show regret? Not at all. People joke that Schiff hasn't blinked in decades, and after watching his stiff delivery and emotionless TikTok videos, it's believable. But the censure matters less than what it symbolizes. It was Washington saying enough deception, enough performance politics. Enough smug moral posturing from someone who hasn't delivered real results for everyday Americans.
Pop their dentures when Schiff finally gets censored. And so the House condemns the lies of the man with the zombie eye. Last night, the House voted on party lines to censure Adam Schiff for promoting the Trump-Russia collusion hoax, which was as believable as Brian Kilmeade getting fan mail. 2 for 2. Schiff becomes only the 26th member ever to be censured, but to his credit, he's still the only member to have a...
What has Adam Schiff actually done to reduce inflation, address the border crisis, or ease the soaring cost of living in California, where gas, food, and rent keep climbing? Nothing. He spent his time chasing narratives and crafting sound bites for cable news. That's why when Greg Gutfeld went after Schiff's Senate ambitions on live television, it felt less like comedy and more like a warning. Greg made the point clear. If voters want a leader who dodges accountability, avoids tough questions, and reshapes facts for political convenience, then Schiff fits the bill. But if people care about integrity, results, and real leadership, it's time to move on. Schiff's biggest problem isn't just that he lied. It's that he keeps lying, assuming no one notices. But people are paying attention now. They see politicians like him don't serve the public, they serve themselves. Remember the fake dossier. Schiff promoted it relentlessly, turned it into a national obsession, and when it collapsed, he acted as if nothing happened. No apology, no accountability, just another appearance, another headline, another campaign move. And now, once again, he's positioning himself for more power.